to call the meeting to order. If everyone please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on the agenda is the roll call. Let the minutes show that Heather Stewart is absent and Stacy Thornberry is absent. Next is the approval of the agenda. Motion by Kyle, discussion or questions? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next is informational items, the construction report.
Board members, I'll share just a few things this evening. Our work this summer continues to progress. Ventilation for the field house locker rooms was one of our primary items for the summer, and we're just waiting on control wiring and some programming, and that'll be completed. We have some playground equipment at the elementary that's being replaced, some softball fencing that is being repaired due to damage that occurred during a windstorm. The acrylic panels on our greenhouse for our FFA program have a 10-year estimated lifespan, and they were installed in 2007. So they're 14 years old, and we are currently replacing those, as well as some additional concrete for that area. That's scheduled for July. Transportation, we had a new AC unit and furnace installed with a fresh air duct. Previously, the fresh air that was pulled into that system was pulled from the garage bay. So the office spaces down there always smell like diesel fuel. So that's been repaired or addressed. We're currently looking at an energy audit for the district so that we can be as efficient as possible. Mr. Key, Mr. Ryan and I met with one firm a couple months ago. We have another company that's coming in to meet with us in August, and you'll be hearing more about that so that we can be as efficient as possible in our energy usage. We have some minor upgrades that are currently occurring to the mobile units to help accommodate growth at our elementary school. And last, just replacement on some gutters and siding at the archery center and storage center across the street here due to some water damage. So lots of things going on. Just a reminder that we had a paving project that was bid out. We rejected that last month due to the bid being extremely high, and we may revisit that at some point in the future when bids start heading back down. That's all.
Any questions on the construction report? Next will be personnel. Everybody get a chance to take a look at that. Next is superintendent's expense report. Would you take a look at that? Next would be the discussion of the trip to Spain. I'm assuming that's Ms. Stevens here.
Yeah. Okay, so, am I good to go?
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
You're looking up, you're gonna make me look at it.
So, 2 summers ago, obviously, we had the trip to Spain scheduled. And then, and I will say this, I remember sitting in a meeting with parents, and there was a grandfather there. He's like, well, what's gonna happen if COVID, prevents travel? And I remember going home that night, I was like, this guy asked me what if COVID prevents travel? Okay, so I've never been so wrong in my life. I thought the guy was great, but anyway. So we had moved the trip to the following summer, initially, and when we did that, Forest gave a couple options for the students. Gave them the option to either take a voucher for a future trip, or for us moving the trip to the next year, or they received a refund minus $500. Most of the students took the refund with the $500 fee because nobody really knew what was going to happen with COVID, and part of my concern was what's going to happen with this travel company if this all goes south. So I had 3 students that took a voucher for a future trip, and we moved it initially to this summer, and then we didn't really feel comfortable with travel again this summer, so we moved it to next summer. So it's the same trip that we were initially going to take, but it's been moved 2 summers after we were originally going to take it. So I just wanted to like fill you in on the voucher part and what will happen there. Currently, travel to Spain, you do not need a COVID-19 vaccine, but if you don't have the vaccine, they would have to be tested for COVID before we left. And then if they have the vaccine, they don't need to be tested. That's as of end of June this summer. Of course, that can all change depending, but as of now, it's not required to be vaccinated to travel to Spain. The trip, I don't know if you remember, but it was, we would fly into Lisbon, Portugal, go down to Lisbon, Portugal, and then we would go through the south of Spain and then up to Madrid, the capital. It's a 9-day trip. Yeah, so what else should I say?
So are all the students still gonna be under 18 and under all of our?
Yeah, so it's the same, the 3 that took the voucher are still gonna be, they were sophomores initially,
Okay.
so they would be either juniors or seniors on this trip.
Are we gonna take more kids, or we're gonna open it up?
Yes, yeah, so the plan, I mean, as long as, you know, with Dr. Baker, yes, open it up, and then if more students wanted to go, just like we did before.
And their voucher's good whether they go with us or if they did other travel arrangements too, as well, right?
If they use EF tours.
Right.
And they would have to, you know, find a
Or
group.
is EF tour only educational? So there, it has to be a school.
Yes, and there are college tours, so if we didn't take them while they were in high school, they could take a college trip, after they're 18 with the voucher. So,
There's one thing I would be interested in, and if I've learned anything the last 16 months, is that you just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
yeah,
If we continue to pursue this trip, I would be interested in something in writing from EF Tours that says, if this tour has to be canceled for any reason, that any students who are going are entitled to a full refund.
okay.
So,
I'm supposed to have a phone call with her, at the beginning of August. We'll see if I'm able to make that phone call, and then, I will ask her that. Also, I was gonna tell you, the trip is tentatively scheduled for us to leave June 18th. That, it can fluctuate 4 days prior or 4 days after that date. So we could leave as early as June 14th, but we're set for June 18th, and it's 9 days. Again, that can fluctuate a couple of days here or whatever. And it's set then, that way the kids that go on the, what's the other trip? That Quest, I'm sorry. The kids that go on Quest, if they want to do both, they're able to go on trip. By that time, they're home on Quest, so generally speaking. So, anybody have questions about it?
Can you remind me, is there a minimum number of students that have to go?
6.
Okay.
6 students have to go.
And then chaperone, is it every 6
Every 6,
students?
there's a chaperone.
Okay.
Yep.
How many chaperones did we have slated on that? It feels so weird. It's like, man, I remember talking about that and things were the old normal. It
Yeah.
was like, man, it was really, we're going to throw way back.
Yeah. So, every 6 kids, there's a chaperone. Now, we went through, we had lots of kids. So we had, you know, we had several chaperones, we had 4 or 5 of us. We had 5 chaperones on the trip through. So, you know, just every 6 kids, we had another chaperone. So,
Will you be chaperoning this one?
we will see how it rolls, but I will be in charge of it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
See how life rolls.
Any other questions, Mr. Warren?
What was the approximate cost here? that we won't know?
Approximate cost, I want to say, was just shy of $4,000.
Okay, that's the number I had in my head, was somewhere around.
Yeah, it was, I believe, just shy, like 39, some change.
And chaperones, we kind of pulled in from the school first.
Yeah, so what I did prior, it was me, DeLong Stutz, Patrick Lucan, Stephanie Francis, who was our gifted and talented, but she's now left. And then our last was Heather Turner. She was a teacher from Fort Thomas, prior, used to teach here at Walton for 10 years. She taught Walton for 10 years, but fluent Spanish speaker, she went and trip with us. Yep.
Anything else? No? Okay, thank you.
You want a lot.
I was gonna say you're free to go.
Okay.
Surely she'll let you.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys. See you.
All right, next is other, Dr. Baker.
Board members, you'll see there by your materials, there's a packet of information to inform your evaluation of our performance this year. It's not as bad as it looks. It'll be very quick to get through. At the beginning of each section, there's a brief reflection of mine on that particular standard, just a list of the artifacts I provided, and my next steps for each of the 7 standards. So I think it'll be quick for you to get through that. So the other thing I wanted to mention, and I think it's been out on social media a little bit. I'm waiting on pictures, but the ribbon cutting for Dollar General was this week. Governor Bashir was there. I was invited to attend, and Dollar General presented us with a $10,000 check for our literacy initiatives. I wasn't aware of this, but the founder of Dollar General was functionally illiterate. So the company has always supported literacy initiatives. So I've had one brief discussion with Kevin. We'll discuss things further with administrators, and we'll be sure to let everybody know how we're using that money to support our literacy efforts in the district. That Dollar General continues to be a great partner for us, and was very, very happy with their generosity. Also, Summer Blitz is winding down. Next week is our last week of our second session. We currently have 129 students in session 2, and I continue to be extremely impressed with our teachers. There is learning going on. It's fun. It's highly interactive. But the students who are attending these sessions are learning. There is an emphasis on reading and math, but they do delve into other subjects. So I've been very pleased with that, and we will do some type of spotlight report for you in the coming next few board meetings. We will also be doing a parent survey about Summer Blitz, just to ask our parents how they feel about it, and ask them if they would be interested if we were to do something like that in the future, some kind of enhanced summer program. So I continue to be very pleased with how Summer Blitz has gone.
I've seen a lot of positive feedback from that, and heard from different people like, hey, your kids want to go, like they're going to Summer Blitz.
Yeah.
Like, and they were going the first session, weren't signed up for the second, but we signed them up for the second because they liked the first.
Yeah.
So it's I've seen nothing but positive on that.
I have made the mistake a couple times of asking the children how they were liking summer school, and I was quickly corrected that it is not summer school. It is Summer Blitz, and it is way better than summer school.
It is.
Summer school is
Quickly,
not fun.
quickly, it is not summer school. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, apologies. So they seem to really, the kids that I had were really responding well to it, so that's
I
good.
didn't even see that at started yet. It's been really,
Yeah,
I've seen nothing but positive.
I'm thrilled with how it's turned out. I mean, the parents are as excited, the teachers are wildly excited, and that's a good feeling when our teachers are excited and they can't wait to do the next thing. I think that says a lot.
And then they'll pour over in the next year. You know?
Pardon me?
They'll pour over into the fall. It'll be great.
Yeah. Kids, I mean, I couldn't believe, I was almost thinking I was gonna have to have a waiting list, and I ended up pulling everybody in, but that's how many people, they wanted more and more, so it's exciting.
That's all. There's no audience of citizens, correct? Okay. board motions. First is the approval of the minutes.
Make it.
First by David, discussions or questions? Is there a second? Second by Kyle. You guys are gonna trade off all night long, here we go.
Pause.
All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Next is the approval of the treasurer's report.
I'll make it.
First by Kyle, second, or discussions or questions? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by David. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Next is the approval of the orders of the treasurer, the bills.
I'll make it.
First by David. Discussions or questions for Kevin?
I'll second.
Well, anybody have a question? David? No? Now you have a question? No. Second by Kyle. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Next is the approval of the KDE district funding assurances. First by Kyle. Discussions or questions? Is there a second?
I'll make it.
Second by David. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Next is the second reading in the approval of the KSBA policy recommendations.
Make it.
First by David. Discussions or questions? Is there a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Kyle. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Next is approval of the school-wide fundraiser at the Walton Elementary School.
I'll make it.
First by David. Discussions or questions?
We got it, you know.
Here's an attachment.
You do that one?
I can touch on it real quick.
Okay.
I'm not even sure exactly what they're doing, but the reason this is on here, normally those type of fundraisers are taken on by the PTA, PSA groups. And so this one's done by the school, so Red Book requires the board to approve it since it doesn't benefit, like, if you're doing a thing for just the first graders, you don't have to approve it, the principal can approve it, but if it benefits the entire student population of the school, you guys have to approve
Do we know?
It's just a
I don't have to.
general blanket approval for.
Oh, for just any fundraiser?
No,
it.
they're
It's a specific.
gonna
Oh,
sell
specific?
apparel and cookies.
And what about the candy bars?
This says apparel and cookies, they're gonna start in August, they're gonna end, or no, I'm sorry. It says apparel end of August, cookies end of October is what they're gonna be selling.
You got it tacked.
And it says increase funding for assemblies, playground technology is what it says before.
Okay. I was just like, I don't have anything to approve, so hold on. Here, all right, sure, that is cookies and beer.
So are you gonna
Second that.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Next is the approval of memorandum of agreement between North Key Community Care and Walton Verona Independent Schools for clinical mental health services. First by Kyle. Discussions or questions? Is there a second?
I'll make it.
Second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next is the approval of the memorandum of agreement between NKCES and Walton Verona Independent Schools for educational services.
I'll make it.
First by David, discussions or questions? Is there a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Kyle, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next is approval of a memorandum of understanding between Summit Medical Group Incorporated doing business as St. Elizabeth Physicians and Walton Verona Independent Schools for telehealth services. First by Kyle, discussions or questions? Is there a second? Second by David, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next is the acknowledgement receipt of the superintendent's personnel actions regarding FMLA leave, see personnel employee 1224. First by Kyle. Is there a second? Second by David. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next is approval of field trips.
I'll make it.
First by David. Discussions or questions? Is there a second? Second by Kyle. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Next is the approval to enter into executive session pursuant to KRS 61.8101C.
I'll make it.
First by, did you say David, yes?
Yeah.
First by David. Discussions or questions? Is there a second? Second by Kyle, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. We are now in executive session, 7:20. Oops, Stacy's in it. All right, next is the approval to return to open session.
I'll make it.
First by Stacy. Discussions or questions? Is there a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Kyle, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Next is approval of the resolution to support the Council for Better Education. First by Kyle. Discussions or questions? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Stacy. All in favor? 3. All opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-1. Next is adjournment. First by Kyle. Is there a second?
I'll make it.
Second by Stacy. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. 8 o'clock, we are adjourned. Thank you, guys.